Welcome agents, Mr. Maya here. Today I'm going to be going over my medic healer build. The great thing about this is it's a build that anybody can build. It doesn't take a whole lot of RNG, a little bit of patience, you know, but with just a little bit of effort, pretty much anybody can do this. And it's a fun build, and it'll help with the heroic, you know, you don't really need it for challenging material, but heroic material for sure. Anyway, we're going to get into it. Before that, if you like this, go ahead and give a like, subscribe, share. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more abstract builds soon. Trying to do stuff like the damage hive, things like that. I'm going to start using things that people don't really use or think are not beneficial in the game and see if we can get any use out of it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into this. So before anything else, you do want to run the survival list if you're going to be running a healer. A couple different reasons why. The main one is the outgoing healing, 15% bonus outgoing healing. That doesn't affect you, but it does affect your teammates, which is great. The elite protection helps your survivability, and the distributor repair. This is a great one. Simply using your armor kit heals all your teammates around. So even if you're not hurt, if you have extra kits and you see the guys around you are hurt, you can use that. The reality is you really don't need it because, as you'll see, the healing on this is just, it's great. So see anything else, group members get bonus damage. Okay. Yeah, none of the rest of this really matters. So let's get into the build. What we got here. Let me make sure we got everything in the right spot. Am I lost in? Wait, is this the wrong build? Aha, wrong build. Alright, there we go. Alright, so first we'll get into the armor. First thing you guys will know is I'm using all 6 pieces capacitive. So that's 120% bonus duration to all skills. Any bonus duration that you'll see is additive on top of that, so obviously it won't give the full amount it displays. It's just added on top of that 120% we already have. What we're going to have is we got the mask here. So the big thing is you want at least 1 piece of Providence. The 8% health from the 2-piece does not hurt, but you want that plus 10% skill power. You want the capacitive, of course, and the big thing is getting cooldown reduction on here. As you guys can see, that cooldown reduction of plus 14% is 100%. That's the max you can get with 2 stat rolls. If you just had cooldown reduction on it, you could go ahead and run with that. I think it'll, I don't know what it'll get to, but you could get a little bit higher, but that's not imperative. Hazard protection, whatever. If you could get elite damage on there, that'd probably be the best, since that's the only real source of elite damage. So if you get elite damage at 45 to 50% there instead of hazard protection, bam. Moving on to the chest piece, we are running with the capacitive. We have some armor on there, which is great. Oh, this is the part of the 3-piece Alps. I do run 3-piece Alps for the cooldown, the skill power, and the hive skill power, since we are running a restorer hive. The armor bonus is good. If you can get up in a 50,000 plus range, you'd be doing stellar. The skill power, anything between 900 and 1,000 is amazing, and the capacitive. As far as the mods, I got 1 utility and 2 defensive. Any mixture of defensive and utility is great here. We obviously want as much utility as we can to maximize the effects of the healer build, but you do want to have some defensive skills. You want to have some survivability. Moving on to the holster. The holster is the spot where you are aiming for the max cooldown. Anywhere, something between 25 and 30% would be great. You want capacitive on that. This is kind of the wild card as far as the brand set goes. You can pretty much have anything in here. I have Wyvern because it's the best piece I have with capacitive and the cooldown. I also have this one down here that's Wyvern and capacitive with skill power on it. But I'm never going to choose the skill power here simply because this is the greatest source of cooldown reduction on here. Moving on to the backpack, there's 2 different ones I use. They're both Alp Summit. One is, they're both basically the same exact thing too. Alp Summit, skill power and cooldown reduction. Alp Summit, skill power, cooldown reduction. Both of them have capacitive. Oh wait, here it is, sorry. The only difference is one is Safeguard. So if I'm running with the team and I want to have a little bit extra heal, I'll run with Safeguard. Most of the time though, I will run with On the Ropes. As you'll see, the hive has a 5 or 10 second cooldown whether I destroy it myself or it gets blown up either due to the duration running out or one of the tanks destroying it. So I either only have 5 or 10 seconds worth of On the Ropes. But if the tank's destroyed and I got the 10 seconds, that could be the difference on me taking them down or not. So I still like on the ropes a little better than Safeguard. If they unnerf it or if they buff it in any amount, I might go back to running Safeguard. But yeah, I'd recommend running on the ropes. I got 2 utility slots on here. Obviously, you want as much utility as possible. Moving on to the gloves. So gloves is where I get my last Alps. You don't have to get it here, but this worked great for me. It's the one spot where I get some damage out of it. I got the 11% assault rifle damage. I'd like to get up. I don't know if it rolls up to like 15%, but that would be stellar. Capacitive, of course. We got an offensive slot right here. As I'm sure you guys know, we'd want utility, but you know, a little bit of extra armor is not a big deal. I'm not sure why I got an LMG mod on there, but I'll look into that later. And the last of the armor pieces is the knee pads. We got the second Providence piece here. Again, you only need 1 Providence, but I like the extra health. You want to get max skill power on this piece if you can. This one is max at 432. That's for a single, so that's the best you can hope to get for. And then, of course, you can also hope to get a utility slot on that. And pretty much, like I said, any spot in here that you can get utility mods is better. So now let's get to the weapons. So as you guys know, or maybe you don't, so here's actually a good tip for people who don't. All of the special weapons, you'll notice this one in Rhythm and Wascally, it doesn't have a middle perk. All these have 2 holstered perks. I don't know if I have the other one. No, I don't. I would need to unlock that. But so what I'm doing is I'm running the Rooted right here, which also I get transmission, because I want to run Rooted and Recharge. Rooted is the 10-second buff of 25% healing, and then the other perk we're looking for is Recharge. While equipped, skills deployed at full armor have plus 25% duration, charges, and ammo. So, and why this one is a great perk is for the for the chem launcher, that's a bonus 25% duration added to it. So that's 120% plus 25%, so 145% duration of the chem charge. Even more importantly is the hive. You always want to deploy the hive at full armor because it not only gives plus 25% duration, it also gives it 25% charges. So in my case, yours may be more or less, but I believe I have 25 charges, but if I drop it at full health, I'll have 31 charges and the bonus duration. So this is an extremely beneficial perk for a healer build. Moving on with that, so I run dual ARs currently, simply because they have the perks I want on both the top and bottom. So this one is Reformation. Headshot kills increase skill repair by 50% for 20 seconds. So if I see that there's a dude laying around that doesn't have a lot of health at the time, I will switch over to this one. I usually use the other AR, which I'll show you in a second, but I will switch to this and try to get the headshot kill, because if I do, that 50% bonus healing for 20 seconds is huge. I mean, absolutely gigantic. It's great. But most of the time I'll run with this one. I think it has a little more, significantly more damage. But then the other thing is the perpetuation. And that's plus 5% duration, ammo, and charges to the next skill used, max stack 10. So of course I want to use that in conjunction with the hive. And so I'll use this, try to get, this one's not important, you know, I have to get the headshot kill. And if I somehow get just two kills before I use the next hive, right, that's 10% extra duration and charges. So that stacks up pretty quick, and it seems like it's not a lot, and you really don't notice it, and you just simply notice that your team's not dying. So at the end of the day, that's all you're trying to do with this build. So it's all about that. The overlap talent down there is not a big deal. I would rather have something else in there. Who knows exactly what, but I figure while I'm switching over to my other P14 for the Reformation, it just gives me the bonus handling, which just makes it that much easier to get the headshot kills. So it's not a bad perk, but there could be something better right there. Alright, here I am back with you guys. So one thing that I really wish Ubisoft would fix is the fact that you can save your loadouts, but it doesn't save your skills. So if I'm running a booster hive for one of my support builds, and then I go ahead and I go into the loadouts and I change over to my medic build, it changes all of my equipment, but it keeps my booster hive on, doesn't go back to the restorer hive the way I want it, and it keeps the booster hive mods on it. That's ridiculous, and they really should fix that, but I digress. moving back now that I fixed it. So, oh, I didn't. Let me restore hive. Yes, restore it. There we go. Okay, back to the restore hive, guys. So, you'll notice that it has a 10-second cooldown, 25 charges, a duration of 110 seconds, and it heals 70,000 plus per second. The way I'm doing that is with a mod for 44,000, almost 45,000 hit points bonus per charge. So every charge heals that 70,000. And then I'm simply running 2 cooldowns to get me to that 10 second. So depending on your build and how you do it, you may be able to replace one of those cooldown reductions with something else. Like let's go ahead and see what we could get in there. You know, well, you get radius in there, which would be cool. The duration really isn't a big deal. You can put some extra charges in there, and that'd be kind of cool. I guess that's kind of it. Radius and charges. Yeah. So that is a possibility if you have a bit more cooldown than I do. I'll get into what those stats are in a second here. But and then here's the big one, the chem charger. I'm healing 76,000, and I think that's per tick. So per second, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but the big thing is I have 8 charges. Each one lasts 11 seconds, not taking into account recharged, reformation, or perpetuation. I am using a 50.6 plus healing on this and plus 5 ammo. What I could do is if I had a little bit more skill power, I think, yeah, I have a 58% healing here, which would actually be huge if I could get it, but I need to squeeze out a little more skill power. And like I said, this is not a min-max build, so it is entirely possible for you guys to do that. And if I was to get that skill power up high enough, I believe, yeah, that would also allow me, I already can use the plus 6 ammo. So I would have 9 charges going on there, and probably, I would have 9 charges, and I would imagine probably just shy of 80,000 armor repair on that. So, all right, and we'll go into the stats for you guys. So, remember, we are not trying to kill things, but we still have 18,000, almost 18.5 weapon damage, no crit hit chance, no 32% crit hit damage, 55% headshots. Yeah, you're not going to be doing any damage, let's face it. 29% assault rifle damage, 4% all weapon, 13% damage to elites. So again, if you got a good master, you could fix that. The armor is 235,000. Our max health is only 37,000, so that could be a bit better too. But the idea is, I just stay out of cover. I try to stay at full health all the time anyway, because my healing drastically goes down if you're not at full health. So there's really no reason why you should be trying to kill stuff. You should try to be staying alive, which really isn't that hard if you're playing the game right. We got 63% cooldown. So I think if you could hit 70% cooldown, that's where you could start swapping out some mods, some of the mods that I have. And let's see, none of the rest of this matters. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I hope I went over everything here. If I forgot anything, write in the comments. I'll try to answer there. And I'll let you guys see some basic gameplay of it. Drop the chem charge. And we're just waiting for it to run out. Just waiting. Still waiting. It's going to be gone soon. I promise you. It's going. There we go. Alright, and obviously, so I drop it. And watch the cooldown here. So we're cooling down. And I'll move a little bit away so we can see the overlap between when the next one comes. Just assuming I have none. Go ahead, drop this, bam, and first one up, there we go. So you see almost perfect overlap. So we got a second, alright gentlemen, do you remember my damage is piss poor? Drop this, drop this.
Go for it!
There's one kill. Uh-oh, are they trying to kill me with that? Okay, here's a perfect example. Watch this. Alright, I'm just going to sit here and take it. Come out here.
Changing magazine.
Oh, we got a whole bunch of dudes here now. you guys notice, I'm still finally at 25 charges, so I'm at stock charges now. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to drop one of these and blow up the hive. Oh. Oh, dude, did you really want to come up right there? Perfect.
My armor falling apart!
Oh, see, that's bullshit.
They're coming up the flank!
Bitch! Going down. So that's how that works.
Get over here!
You see that dude snipe me fucking point blank. Watch, he'll do it again. Oh, no, he won't. Drop the heal real quick. So that's the key, dude. If you guys know that there's going to be a static charge, the MP, drop a chem charge immediately. It'll last the duration, and it will, and it keeps working. As long as it's on the ground, it will work. Oh, I can see him.
Inside the wall of the base. We need to retrieve the antivirals before Black Tusk can move it somewhere safer. Head down into the sinkhole and locate the maintenance pump room. We rigged explosives there that should get you inside the perimeter once you detonate them.
Another agent is now in your group. An agent needs assistance. Vital signs critical. Agent down. An agent needs assistance. Serious trauma detected. An agent is no longer in your group. You have been promoted to group leader. Agent down. Vital signs critical. Agent down.
Neutralize anything to move! Come on, dig in! Tangos are trying to flank us! Where are they? No good! Get over there! Sending it! Lost them in. Can't move! Target is here!
Another agent has joined your group.
Airborne, fire!
System disrupted. Agent down.
I'm blanking. Reloading.
An agent is no longer in your group.